Hey, welcome back, science enthusiasts. And those just wandering through the matrix of existence, let me just say, you've landed in the right place. Grab a cup of whatever fuels your curiosity. May I suggest honey in your coffee? Kick back and let's take a trip down a road that science may have paved but forgot to finish. Science, the dogma we never saw coming. We love science, who doesn't? It gives us shiny gadgets, new medicines, and let's be honest, it makes us feel smarter at dinner parties. But, and here's the big twist, have you ever stopped to wonder whether science might be just another kind of dogma? Whoa, I know, that sounds like something your conspiracy theorist uncle might say, but stick with me here, let's break this down. The thing is, science has been so successful at explaining the physical world that we've kind of let it take over our whole perception of reality. Think about it, how often do we hear, oh, that's not scientifically proven, as the ultimate conversation ender? We've allowed science to become the ultimate authority, just like religious institutions were back in the day. And don't get me wrong, it's brought us some epic wins. Thank you, Internet. But maybe, just maybe, it's time to peek behind the lab coat and question the assumptions we've been spoon-fed. One-track mind. Imagine this. You're living in a world where anything that can't be dissected under a microscope or crunched into a math formula doesn't exist. Does that world sound familiar? That's because it's our world and we've gotten a bit too cozy in it. We've let scientific experts become the gatekeepers of truth, while other ways of understanding, like ancient wisdom or spiritual insight, get tossed in the bin, labeled primitive or worse, woo-woo, cue eye roll from your superlogical friend. But here's a wild thought. What if those ancient humans were onto something? I'm not talking about a time when people thought the Earth was flat, and many still do, but Kontic Science says otherwise. I'm talking about a time when people might have had access to knowledge we've lost along the way, knowledge about the universe, about consciousness, about us. According to the freedom teachings in Kontic Science, what if those people knew how to navigate the unseen realms that science simply refuses to acknowledge? Kontic Science, not your high school physics. Let's pause here for a sec. Kontic Science isn't something you're going to find in your dusty old textbooks or on a TED Talk anytime soon. This field dives deep into energy structures, multidimensional realities, and consciousness technologies. Yep, we're talking mind technologies that could rival the sophistication of your latest iPhone, except this one helps you understand the nature of your soul. The cool part? The ancient world wasn't as clueless as we think. They might have had advanced mind technologies and spiritual practices that allowed them to interact with beings from other dimensions, beings we might refer to as angels, gods, or in some interpretations, fallen angels. And you know what's crazy? We've completely discredited that knowledge simply because we're obsessed with what can be poked, prodded, and measured. We laugh off myths and stories as primitive ramblings, when in reality, these could be breadcrumbs leading to truths that science can't even begin to fathom. Science versus religion, same old, let's get controversial. Because hey, what's a good chat without shaking the boat a little? Science has its own form of dogma, just like religion. Both tell you what to believe, both have hierarchies of experts, and both are extremely good at shutting down dissent. Ever tried questioning a hardcore scientist about the possibility of aliens or other dimensions? You'll get a polite smile if you're lucky, and a swift dismissal. Sound familiar? Try asking a priest about the Big Bang. The kicker? Science changes its mind all the time. What was true yesterday becomes outdated with the next experiment. Case in point. Remember how we thought humans evolved from primates through a linear process? Science ran with that for years. Until, well, they didn't. Missing links and gaps in the fossil record threw a wrench in that narrative, and now we're not so sure anymore. What if humans didn't evolve from primates, but were, I don't know, seeded here by visitors from other worlds? Don't look at me like that. It's in your ancient texts. The fact is, our scientific understanding of the world is always evolving. So why do we treat it like it's written in stone? It's a system that's constantly updating itself, kind of like your phone's operating system. So why are we putting all our eggs in one basket when reality could be so much bigger, wilder, and more magical than what science currently allows for? Other worlds and ancient wisdom. Here's where it gets really juicy. Well, what if the stories of fallen angels, as told in ancient texts, are actually about beings from other dimensions? They're not myth or legend, but histories, ones we've forgotten. In Kontic Science, these beings are very real and have interacted with humanity for eons. The dogma of modern science has blinded us to these possibilities simply because it can't yet explain them. Isn't it possible that ancient human cultures might have been far more advanced in their understanding of consciousness and the cosmos than we give them credit for? What if their connection to the other worlds was a sign of their evolved state, not their primitive minds? Just because we can't measure it doesn't mean it's not there. Time to rethink the experts. So here's the big question. Should we blindly accept the conclusions of modern science, just as people once did with religious authorities? Or should we open ourselves to other ways of knowing, to other possibilities that go beyond what a microscope can show us? Mind blown yet? The truth is, science, just like religion, is a tool, an incredible one, but still just a tool. We need to use it without letting it dominate our entire understanding of existence. The universe is vast, mysterious, and full of things that our current understanding can't explain. But that's okay. Maybe it's time we stopped expecting science to be our infallible guide and started trusting in our own ability to explore reality from all angles, scientific, spiritual, and beyond. Thanks for hanging out in the Cosmic Cafe. So what do you think? Ready to question everything you've been told, or at least reconsider the way you see science's role in shaping our understanding of reality? Thanks for joining me on this wild ride through the intersection of ancient wisdom and modern dogma. I'll be here next time, ready to tackle more of life's big questions and maybe share a laugh or two while we're at it. Until then, keep that mind open and share this with someone who needs their brain stretched a little today. Peace, love, and all the cosmic vibes.